Good morning, friends. So we will continue our chapter on tissues. So by now we have discussed the different type of tissues. I hope you do remember. So here there is a note of caution. You should know that a multicellular organism is made of billions of cells, and each cell cannot work differently. To work efficiently, a group of cells with a common origin and common function, this group of cell is called a tissue. So in a body, a multicellular body, there are many organ systems and many organs, and the organs also do multi-functions. So specialized tissues are there in the body to do a specific function. But like we saw, tissues are classified according to their position, location and function. Sorry, the location and the function. So every body needs a covering called the epidermis. So there is a covering outside the body, and like I told, every organ also needs a covering, both outside and if it is hollow from the inside. So this is done by which tissue? Do you remember? The epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue is the covering. Now somewhere the covering is hard, rigid, somewhere it is soft, somewhere it allows movement, somewhere it secretes some enzymes. So we have done the epithelial tissue. The next we did was the connective tissue. The tissue which we have named proper connective tissue and liquid connective tissue. In the proper we had the bone, the cartilage, the tendons and the ligaments. Now the bones give the structure to the body. All the bones are there, is not continuous. They're all small bones for which helps in the different type of movements. But the muscles are actually which make the bones to move. So we have got tendons which connect the bones to bones and ligaments which connect bone to muscles. So all this we have done in the previous lectures. Now the next we have to do this time is the muscular tissue or the muscle tissue. So the bones, the tendons, the cartilages and the ligaments, they all move, but who makes them move? The muscle tissue. Now muscle tissue is developed with movement, mechanical, so they need a lot of energy. Yes? So these tissues, let us see now how these tissues work, the muscle tissues, the one which facilitates movement. So muscle tissue consists of elongated, narrow muscle cells called muscle fibers. So muscle cells join together to form muscle fibers. Fibers are, again I told you, like attached like structures. Now they are mostly attached to the bones. Why? Because bones are strong but they do not move on their own. The muscles is what make the bones to move. And the function is the contraction and relaxation which makes the bones to move and the body to move. Now muscles, how do they contract? So they have got special proteins called contractile proteins. These contractile proteins contract and relax to cause movement. Okay. Now when will it contract? So there is to be a mechanism to tell it when to release this protein, means when to contract and when to relax. So that will do. The next tissue is the nervous tissue which brings the information. But just now we'll pay attention to the muscle tissue. So muscle tissue contains proteins called the contractile proteins, and the presence of these proteins makes the muscle contract and relax. Now the muscles present in our limbs, limbs is our hands and our legs, they move whenever we want them to move, and we can decide when to move it, how to move it. Such muscles are voluntary muscles. So we can say that the muscles which are under our direct will are called voluntarily muscles. So these muscles are also our skeletal muscles, because we move our skeleton the way we want it. We can move our head, our hands, fingers, ankles, knees, toes. All these movements are under your direct will, means you can move them whenever you want to. If you do not want to move them, you can stop moving it. So these are voluntary muscles. The skeletal muscles are voluntary muscles attached to the bones which help in the body movement. Now why the skeletal muscle is very important is because animals have to move towards food, towards water and far from their predators. So their brain decides in which direction they want to move. So depending on some danger or a stimuli like hunger, they will move towards the food. So a message is given to the brain, and that message when it reaches the muscles, it makes the muscles to move and the body moves in a particular direction. Now we'll see the different muscle tissues in our body. So these are the voluntary muscles. We talk about the first one are the voluntary, which is in our direct will. Now the first type of muscle is the striated muscle. You can see these bands. These bands are called striations. So this muscle is called a striated muscle. Now there are nucleus scattered around this muscle fiber. So this striated muscle gets together to make a muscle fiber. Now if you look under the microscope, this muscle show alternate light and dark bands which are called striations. Okay, but you have to stain it. You cannot see the striations directly. When you apply a certain chemical, a certain stain, then you will see the alternate light and dark bands. So they are called striated muscles. What you can see, the cells of this tissue are long. So the cells which make up this tissue are long, cylindrical. And you see this, it is in the form of a cylinder. The shape you can see. They are unbranched and multinucleate. Just like I said, the nucleus is scattered at many places. So it is a multinucleate, having many nuclei. So the cell is long, cylindrical, unbranched. These cells together form a fiber, but this is one single striated muscle, diagram shown here. Okay, so this is striated because it has got light and dark bands. Now you cannot see the bands directly. You have to apply a certain pigment, a stain, and then in the microscope you can see the bands. But these muscles contain light and dark bands or striations. Those are called striated muscle. Then we have the smooth muscle. Okay. Now where is the smooth muscle? The striated muscle was the voluntary, under our direct will, means we can control the movement of that muscle. But the smooth muscle is for the movement of food in the alimentary canal. Do you know what is alimentary canal? It starts from the mouth. It is the tube through which the food actually passes. So you start from the mouth, then the esophagus, that is the food pipe, the stomach, the small intestine, large intestine, rectum and the anus. This whole path is called the alimentary canal because food actually moves through here. But the speed of the food with which it is moving is by the, yes, is done by the alimentary canal. So this is not under our direct control. The movement is done automatically. So that is done by the smooth muscle. Even the contraction and relaxation of blood vessels is done by this smooth muscle. So the smooth muscles have got their own information from the brain, but it is not under our direct will. Though our brain is making it move, it is not under our direct will. So such movements are called involuntary movements. So the food moving inside the alimentary canal goes at a certain speed which the brain decides. So the smooth muscles are the involuntary muscles, not under our direct will. The limbs, the appendages, the fingers, the toes, the knees, the elbows, the wrist, all you can move, the neck, the shoulders, you can move under your will. These are voluntary. While the food in the alimentary canal, the blood moving is in the involuntary movements. So voluntary movements are done by striated muscles, involuntary movements are done by smooth muscles. Now you will also see in the iris of the eye, it is not under our control. When bright light falls on our eye, the iris makes the pupil small. In the ureters, drop by drop the urine reaches the bladder. In the bronchi of the lungs, this is not under our control. Now these cells along with pointed ends, you can see the diagram, they have got pointed end, means they are broad in the middle and pointed at the ends. So they are called spindle shape. Spindle shape means broad in the middle and pointed at the ends. And they are uninucleate. Uninucleate means every cell has got only one nucleus. You can see every cell is arranged one over the other, but every cell has got only one nucleus, single nucleus. And because they have got no bands, the smooth muscle also is called unstriated muscle. So striated muscle is one having the striations, the bands. The unstriated is the one without the bands. So again we can remember the striated are voluntary muscles. They are unbranched, yes, but they are multinucleate, long in the form of a cylinder, multinucleate. These are spindle shape, broad in the middle, narrow in the end, and uninucleate means having only one nucleus. Apart from this two, we have got third one muscle called the cardiac muscle. Now we'll see how the cardiac muscle is different from both of this. Now like the striated muscle, the cardiac muscle also has got striations. You can see this. Now what does cardiac means? Cardiac means heart. Yes, cardium is the heart, so cardiac muscles are muscles of the heart. Now this have got bands, they are called striations, just like the striated muscle. And the muscle of the heart show rhythmic contraction and relaxation throughout life. So our heart keeps on beating throughout life, but it is under our will? No. It is not under our will. The heart has got information of its own. Means when you are relaxing, the heart will beat slowly because the cells in your body do not need too much blood and too much oxygen and glucose. Okay, it doesn't need too much oxygen. So when you are at rest, it moves very slowly. The heart beats very slowly. When you are running or doing strenuous exercise, the muscles need energy. So the mitochondria has to produce more energy. So for oxygen supply, the heart beats faster. Okay. Now what you can see here is two things. A mixture. These muscles are involuntary muscles, but they contain striations like the voluntary muscles. So these are showing a mix of both. So we have named it a new one, calling it the cardiac muscle. So will you remember the ones with striations, the striated muscles are voluntary, the smooth muscles are involuntary, the cardiac muscle has got striations but it is involuntary. So we give it a new category called the cardiac muscles. These are again cylindrical like the striated muscle, but these are branched. Those who are unbranched, these are branched. You can see branches are formed. There are connection between the cells by branching, and they are again eunucleate. So you can see the cardiac muscles has got the property of both. It is cylindrical like the striated muscle, but eunucleate like the unstriated muscle. It is involuntary like the unstriated muscle, but it was striations like the striated muscle, and this is branched. So this is doing a special function is the beating of the heart, the contraction and relaxation, pumping blood throughout the body. And like I told you, the supply of the blood depends upon how much energy the muscles need. When we are running or doing hard work, the muscles need more energy. So to oxidize the food, the heart keeps on pumping blood faster and faster throughout the body. And when we are relaxing, it beats slower. Now we'll just see a brief summary, the comparison of the types of muscle tissues. So first we talk about the striated muscles, also called skeletal muscles or striped because of the bands, and they are the voluntary muscles. What did we say of the characteristics? They are long, cylindrical, unbranched, and multinucleate. You can see the diagram again and you will remember. Where is it attached? To the bones. Why? Because it is voluntary. We want to move the bones according to our own will. So because it moves according to will, these are voluntary muscles. So like the function is also voluntary muscle, movement and locomotion. Then the body has also got things or organs inside which is not under our controlled will. It is no doubt that our brain is coordinating all the organs in the body, but it is not under our direct will. Those movements are done by the non-striated or the smooth involuntary muscles. The muscles fibers are smooth without striations and they are eunucleate, having only one nucleus. Found in the uterus, the digestive tract, the urinary bladder, the iris of the eye, the bronchi of the lungs, all these things are working in our body, all these movements are there, but not under our direct will. Because they are not under our direct will, we call them involuntary muscles. Okay, so it is not by our conscious will or direct will. And the cardiac heart muscles are short, cylindrical, and have a single centrally placed nucleus, so eunucleate, found in the walls, only in the walls of the heart, special muscles. And what is the function? Rhythm, contraction and relaxation of cardiac muscles help to pump and distribute blood in various parts of the body. Now this we are talking about the normal life and normal people and normal mammals, vertebrates, all of them, all the normal animals. But humans you can put in a different category because humans have got a brain, yes, and now we are doing certain techniques like meditation. When you go deep into meditation, you can almost control all the organs in the body. You can bring down the rate at which it is working. But meditation is not an easy thing. We do not see animals meditating, but humans do meditate, and those who have got the proper practice can still slow down more the beating of the heart, the working of the lungs, the activities in the brain. So meditation is a technique now accepted the world over. People do yoga the world over. Yoga are special exercises meant for special organs. Yes, we do exercises of all types, but yoga have got special poses, and every pose in the yoga gives proper exercise to a certain organ in the body to keep the body fit. And meditation brings down the metabolism of the body. Now, if you remember, not very long back, maybe a year or so, a football team of Thailand had gone for a picnic in some of the caves. And when they entered the caves, water entered the opening of the cave and they were trapped inside. So, young football team was trapped inside the cave. Now, since the opening of the cave was blocked, there was only limited amount of oxygen inside the cave. Now, if the children had panicked, in the panic the heart would beat faster and they would start using all the oxygen inside the cave, and after some time when all the oxygen was used up, they would suffocate and die. But their coach was a trained teacher in meditation, so he made all the students to sit, relax and meditate, and they slowed down the metabolism of the whole body. By slowing down the metabolism, they took very limited oxygen and survived till the rescue team found them. So this is a year or so old news. If you go on the website or Google it, the Thailand football team trapped in the cave, you will find this story. And the teacher who was expert in this meditation made the students to sit and meditate. He slowed down the metabolism in the whole body. And by slowing down the metabolism, the use of oxygen was lowered, so they could survive till help arrived. If they had panicked, then the heart would have beaten faster and they would have used up all the oxygen inside the cave, and before the rescue they could have perished. So kindly try to find and read this story. Now we'll see the direct comparison. So I've drawn the diagram here of the smooth muscle, the skeletal muscle and the cardiac muscle. We put with the diagrams now. You can see the differences now. Non-striated or smooth, the skeletal muscle is striated, you can see the bands. The cardiac muscle is also striated. Smooth muscle is spindle shaped, means broad in the middle, narrow at the base. The remaining two are cylindrical. You can see them. Now the first two are not branched, but the cardiac muscle is branched. They have got only one nuclei. The smooth muscle has only got one nuclei in the center. This nuclei are peripheral on the border and they are multinucleate, means having many nuclei. This is having only one nuclei in the center. So you can see what is happening here. This cardiac muscle has got some properties of skeletal muscles and some property of the smooth muscle. You can see these properties of the skeletal muscle. Yes. Now these are having no disc. Even the skeletal muscle have no disc. This is what intercalated disc. Intercalated means near the branches. So there are discs near the branches. The smooth muscles are involuntary. The skeletal muscles are voluntary. Cardiac muscles are involuntary. The smooth muscle is very slow. The blood pumping through the blood vessels, the food moving through the intestine and the esophagus, the food pipe, the urine collected by the kidney through the ureters in the urinary bladder are all slow. Skeletal muscles are fast movements. We move very fast under a will, and cardiac muscle is also fast but with a rhythm. With the smooth muscle, the contraction is not inherent. Here also the contraction is not inherent, but here the contraction in the cardiac muscle is inherent. Inherent means is done on its own. So we have seen the muscle tissues. So now all the organs in the body have got different type of muscles, but these muscles are the only muscles in the body. So all the place not under a direct will have smooth muscles. Where we want to coordinate movement for the bones, they are all skeletal muscles. And only the special organ called the heart, which is different from the rest, has got cardiac muscles. So what have we done so far? Have you understood the covering tissue called the epithelial tissue, the connective tissue, that is the bones, the blood and the ligaments, tendons. Now to facilitate the movement, we have the muscle tissues, and now we go to the last tissue of the body which coordinates all of them, which does the thinking for all of them, which tells them when to do and what work to be done. So it does both the voluntary and the involuntary work, and those tissues, okay. So we just showing a slide here, the cartilage and the bone. Now you remember what I was telling you. Is it clear? These are the cartilage is not moved, but the bones are moved by which muscles? The muscles of our, yes, skeletal muscles, which are the striated muscles. So now this tissue is the nervous tissue which controls all the other tissues. Now this nervous tissue has got the ability to respond to stimuli. Means what is a stimuli? See, when we feel hot, we put on the fan. When we are thirsty, we drink water. When we are hungry, we eat food. When we will feel cold, we find to see something warm. So all this is called respond to stimuli. So the nervous tissue possesses cells which has got the ability to respond to stimuli. Okay, but are they just stimulated by anything? No, they are highly specialized for being stimulated. So there are some cells, special cells, which get stimulated, and then it is transmitted, the stimulus is transmitted rapidly from one place to another place in the body. Means, suppose you put your leg on something hot or you touch something hot, then you immediately pull your hand back. Or if you put your leg on something sharp, then you immediately pull your leg back. What happens? You got a stimulus, and the stimulus was very fast carried to the brain. The brain has taken the decision what to do. So what is this nervous tissue? Is two different types of special cells. One will get stimulated, means it will receive the stimulus. It will receive the stimulus and then if the stimulus is transmitted very quickly to the brain. The brain decides what is to be done. That is sent back to the muscles, and the muscles will do the response to the stimuli. So the nervous tissue is found where? In the organs of the, like the brain, the spinal cord, and the nerves which run throughout the whole body. So nervous tissue is all about information, collecting information, taking decisions, and then taking the action. Okay, now this nervous tissue has got cells, special cells, which are called nerve cells or neurons. So the brain, the spinal cord and nerves all are made of a special cell called the neuron. But the characteristics we will see, the cells are called neurons. They are elongated. We will see the diagram in a short time. They have got three parts: a cell body, axon and dendrites. Location is where? It is a component of the nervous system, so present in the brain, spinal cord, nerve fibers and nerves. And what does it do? Two functions. First, it receives the stimuli and then it transmits. So there is a transmission of messages from brain to different parts of the body and vice versa. Means carrying information from different parts of the body to the brain and from the brain to different parts of the body. So all these organs which are working, now you can see here we are going to discuss all the organs in the body are controlled by the brain. The heart will beat faster when it is needed, but there has to be some information to say the heart to now beat slower. So brain will tell the heart when to beat faster, the brain will then tell the heart when to beat slower. So brain is coordinating everything. The voluntary and involuntary muscles, the voluntary and involuntary movement in the body, both of them are coordinated by the brain. The brain takes all the decisions. So the food moving through our food pipe, how fast to move, how slow to move, the brain will decide. How fast the kidneys remove the urine, the brain will decide. So the brain can increase the speed of the organ and the brain can also decrease the speed of the organ. How does it do that? You are going to do in the next standard, in the 10th standard. But just for your information, everything is done by chemicals. Certain chemicals are secreted which increase the speed and certain chemicals then decrease the speed. So nervous tissue is very important tissue of the body. The brain, spinal cord and nerves have it. So this is mostly on the information. But this is the tissue which coordinates all the working of the whole body. That is why in our body we have got many different organ systems. The digestive system, the respiratory system, the circulatory system, the nervous system, the reproductive system. All these systems are controlled and coordinated by the nervous system. So nervous system, so all these systems in the body are working simultaneously. It is not that when one system is working, one system has to stop. The heart keeps on beating, the lung keeps on working, the stomach is digesting the food, in the small intestine food is mixed with the blood. Yes, the kidney is removing the urine from the blood. So all these things are going on simultaneously, but all these activities are coordinated by the brain. And the brain is made up of special cell called neurons. Now we'll see the structure of the neuron. This is the diagram, the structure of the neuron. So the neuron has got a cell body. So this cell body is a special one which gathers the information. So this receives information and then this kind of wire is the one which transmits the information. Okay, now you can see the neuron has got a cell body I just showed with a nucleus and cytoplasm. You can see the yellow colored thing is the cytoplasm and in the center of the cytoplasm you have got a dark blue color nucleus. Okay, now from this cell body you can see these hair-like structures. You can see these hair-like structures. These branch hair-like structures are called dendrites. Okay, so these are the dendrites. What do the dendrites do? The dendrites receive information. So these hair-like structures are spread throughout and they are the ones which receive the information. Now the information which is received, so this cell, the nerve cell is usually in the ground state. Ground state means in a resting phase. When it receives information, it goes into the excited state and then the information which is received is transmitted further. So you can see a single, so all these are branches, okay? The dendrites are branches, but there is one single long branch which is called the axon. So if you want to remember this word, the cell body is also called cyton. C-Y-T-O-N. The cell body is also called cyton and this long branch is called the axon. So you can say cyton and the axon. And then the many short branches like I told you which are the dendrites. Okay. Now a nerve can sometimes be to 1 meter long. So nerve cells can be small also and some nerve cells are long up to 1 meter. Now these nerve cells which are these fibers together make up a nerve. So what is the purpose of the nerve? It allows us to move our muscles when we want to. So this is our under direct will. So when we want to move, the brain sends a signal to the muscles through the nerves. The nerve impulse tells the muscle to move and the movement is done. So it is the functional combination. It is a combination of the nerve and the muscle tissue. So the nerve and the muscle tissue combine to to make the movement in animals. So remember, the muscular tissue does the movement, but the information is provided by the nervous tissue. So when the body or the animal sense danger, in the danger a special chemical is released which immediately tells the muscle to move faster. So when a deer is chased by a lion, then the deer has to run faster to save himself. The brain of the deer is giving information to the deer to make the muscles move faster. So the nervous tissue is carrying information to move the muscles faster, so the deer has to run fast to escape. But at the same time, the tiger or the lion or the cheetah running behind the deer wants to catch the deer. So when it sees that the deer is running very fast, then the brain of the tiger also, or the lion or the cheetah, that also sends the information to make it move faster to catch the deer. So all these movements are controlled by the nervous tissue. Now the brain, the spinal cord and the nerves we do in the next standard, that is the 10th standard. But this was a brief idea. So now I hope you know that our whole body is made up of a million cells, but they cannot work separately or there will be confusion. So these groups, these cells come into groups for a special function or a particular function which we call a tissue. So throughout the body there are different kind of tissues. All the different organs sometimes do similar work and they do different work. So they have got different types of tissues. So we studied the tissues, the scientists have studied the tissues and they grouped them up into the different tissues in the body. So we learned the epithelial tissue, the connective tissue, the muscle tissue and the nervous tissue. So here we end the chapter of the tissues. Yes. So you can now see we have done the tissue separately. But you have to always think as a whole. All these tissues cannot work separately. The tissue have to coordinate among themselves and work. So nervous tissue tells the tissues what is to be done. The connective tissue like the blood carries food and oxygen to all the tissues. So all of them have to work together. We have differentiated the tissues to understand them, but remember all the tissues work together in unity for the body to work properly. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson and understood more about the body. So I am going to end here now. Thank you.